The closely packed buildings were wood or brick, rude in construction and crude in purpose. Hello and welcome to my humble pirate lair here in Windrose. As you can see, it's not quite completed yet. I know I need to finish my tavern over there. I know I need to finish my warehouse over here. But where I'm feeling the most inspiration today is over here in this cove because I want to give John Doe a place to roam. He's going to have his own bonfire, he's going to have his own little section here, and he's going to act as like a scout for my little pirate lair that I have. So my inspiration for this one came from Ireland originally. I used to live there, and when we went to Dublin one day, I saw these towers along the coast. And when you look into them, they're called Martello Towers. So originally I was going to build a bunch of Martello Towers until I researched what age they're from. They're from the 1800s. The idea was that if Napoleon attacked, that those towers would be able to give warnings. So I was like, okay, they don't quite fit the timeline, but what does fit the timeline is the Spanish pirate towers of Ibiza. So I am basing this start of the build around those pirate towers. So they were built between the 16th and 18th centuries, and they were often built on raised rock like this. So right here is going to be a tower. I'm going to work on fleshing out a walkway, let's see, around this spire that connects to the shore near that bonfire, and that's where my main house is going to be. I'm going to build like a Caribbean terracotta looking house there. So yes, we're going to get started on that, and then I have some landscaping tricks that I want to try and see if they'll work. So that's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and get started right away with building. I do have a few bonfires set up around this island with little storage bins next to them so that no matter where I am, I always have access to some kind of storage. That's the only gripe I've had when building on big areas, is that you do have to move storage around to sit where some of the bonfires are. So anyway, let's start getting the outline of this tower built. The towers were octagonal or round, usually rounded. I know our building pieces are a bit limited round-wise, but we're just going to see what we can come up with. We're going to see what we can make work. So, like, look, this is perfect. This was not, in fact, perfect. I was originally going to show the whole process of using these rounded building pieces to work my way through the tower section of this build video, but I decided to just show you a brief recap of how things went and then show you its destruction and how I actually built the tower I ended up keeping. The problem was that these wall pieces don't really work well with other pieces when it comes to building roofs, flooring, and different details that you want to put around the side of it. I'm not sure if I haven't unlocked every single rounded piece yet, but I really only had this small rounded wall to work with, and it had more of a clay look, whereas I was looking for a brick look. So in this footage behind my narration here, I should have shown you how layering other building pieces to try and fit the shape of the rounded pieces just doesn't end up looking good. It ends up looking chunky and not at all what I was going for. So I built the original tower and decided to let it sit while I let my mind think about other things and return to it to see if I wanted to keep the atrocity or move on to something built a little bit better. The conclusion I have reached after much hemming and hawing over this tower is that the rounded pieces are not the size that I need them to be for the size of the tower that I would like. So while parts of this thing work, other parts of it are never going to work. So I might have to completely destroy it and put in like an octagonal tower or just an angled tower rather than a circular one until there are more circular pieces to choose from. So, oh, dog is doing a big stretch. So that's going to have to be the plan. So I'm going to take a break from that before I destroy it. And I'm going to show you what I think could be a fun trick for landscaping some like shrubbery onto the side of like a rock face or something. First though, I need to build like a walkway or like a pier around this, because the plan is that there's going to be a way to walk around. There's going to be a way to walk around, but I need to make sure it's a little bit off the shore. Actually, you know what? There we go. Look, that's just a slightly off the shore. That's perfect. Okay, now I'll turn snapping back on. I'm going to need to move the boat. But yeah, I'm really wanting this like path around here because I want John, our mysterious John, to be able to patrol it. Of course, the issue is that the piers don't usually turn, so I'm gonna have to take some liberties with that, like this. Hopefully that doesn't look too bad. I don't think it looks that bad. We got the turn successfully done. Okay, so that's that part of the pier done. So landscaping wise, I think I'm going to go ahead and start planting because, of course, the trees are going to take some time to grow, as well as whatever else I plant. So let's get those in the ground. Then we'll go back and revisit the Tower of Terror, as I have now started to call it. Anyway, what I want to do, let's see if I can make this jump first of all. I was experimenting with this a little bit before, which is why I have these here. I wanted to mark where my bonfire might fall. But what I want to do is I want to plant a ficus sapling here. And hopefully I can get a few more in here. Come on, give me some nice spots to put a sapling. Because I think it's gonna look really nice to... Come on, shrub. There's one nice shrub. Maybe I can get another shrub in here. But I want to transform this cove into more of like a mysterious place, you know? I've been really inspired lately by Steve Barry's books. So this is The Columbus Affair, takes place in the Caribbean, isn't directly related to piratery, but it does involve Columbus and a Caribbean setting. And there's lots of caves and shrubberies mentioned, and jungles. And then this one is the Jefferson Key, which I am almost done with. And it is about pirates in a way, but some of the settings there really intrigued me and had to do with like coastal environments and some quays and piers and wharfs. So really that's what inspired me to do this part of the build. So that part of the build over there, Ireland and Spain, this part over here, Steve Barry and his stories. Okay, so we've got those planted. So what I'm wanting is these to like go up and kind of just make this like swampy, viney look, because you know the ficus trees, they get like the elephant ears that wrap around them or the vines that wrap around them. I'm hoping that that's what those will look like. But my next part of all of this is that I want to use, where are they? Here they are. I want to use this fern. I want to use this. See how I can put it under the water technically, and it looks like it's like shrubbery. So I'm wanting to try and line this pathway with it somehow. And I've discovered that if I put it on top of a foundation already in the water, that you can almost make you can make like a shore out of it. And along with, let me see, along with seed beds. So like I can put these, you know what, let's try this. I'm gonna put this here. I'm going to use Z and middle mouse button to bring this down and put that here. And then let's see if I can snap that other one into the ground. That would be really cool. I can. Okay, so now I have more ground that I can actually plant seeds on. But in between this little garden area that I'm making, I think I also have banana seeds somewhere. Not with me, but I do have them somewhere. Yeah, between all of this, I'm gonna try, let's see, large pot. The structure is unstable. Well, you know what? I think let's do Z and down. It should, there. Look at that. So you can still see the pot. So I'm gonna have to see if I can like obstruct the pot with one of these thin planters. But I'm really wanting to make my own artificial bank. Don't ask me why I find it appealing. I don't know why. I just think it would look really cool to be able to landscape and plant my own little like area under here. I think I might actually need to make the pieces that I'm standing on a bit lower to make this stand out. So let's try that. So this piece needs to go lower. So let's make it lower. So all that was just one of these. Yeah, look how low that is. So now we're gonna see what that plant pot's gonna look like. I'm so excited to see if this works, like actually works. Oops, if I could only not do that. If I could only not drown, that would be probably good. Okay. So this is supposed to go down, so we hold Z and it does go down a bit more. So I like that. So that's like under the water and you can't really see it as much. So now if I were to go back and put that farming plot around it, if I can figure out how to fit that, let's turn snapping off and see. Yeah, look, I can put this. Let's move this down a little bit. I should be able to get a farm plot right around it. So that almost looks like it's supposed to be there. And then if I put plants around it even more, that'll look even better. So I'll have to go get some seeds and do that. But for now, what I want to do is get up, oops, on that dock and, well, the pier, and build it around a bit more. So let's get right up next to it. I'm going to delete this part. Oh no, we're zooming. Hey, no. No. But yeah, so just imagine when the ficuses are all grown in and I have planted other things. I'm about to plant other things. I just want to expand the pier a little bit more. And hopefully this will all click into place. It'll make more sense. Interesting that this isn't wanting to snap. Why not? Why aren't you wanting to snap? We'll just turn snapping off for the moment and see if I can get it going the way I want it again. Alright, so we're going to build slightly to the right since that's where this is wanting to go. I don't know why it is being so difficult, but it's just the way it's got to be. And so again, I've got snapping off. I'm really trying to get this walkway to go like along the shrubberies. Oh, I don't like that. Maybe I can put a floor there. Let's turn snapping on again. Turn it off. So it's actually kind of hard to like contour an area with a pier, or so I'm finding. Yeah, so see, that's That's gonna need some help, I think. I might be able to help it. Might not. So yeah, look, I can put this here. Can I? There. So that's like a stair, if you will, you know? It's like a stair down, and then we'll do the same thing with this one. So I think I might even be able to put a stair there, one of the smaller stairs. Yeah, so pier stairs. Yeah, look. So that kind of helps connect a little bit. Not perfect, but I always say that perfection is the enemy of getting anything done. And then I think there's a really nice pillar in here. That looks like, yeah, I like that. I want to put it like midway here though. So I gotta turn snapping off, but I want to put it right here to like hide how awkward it is. And then when I can get in my boat, I'm gonna put a piece underneath it. Oh, there, it just let me put it underneath it. So that hides a little bit of the awkward nature there, that too, of this whole thing. But look, I've got a fern. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now I guess the question is, what seeds should I put in this little bed here? And then how can I better blend? How can I better blend that? Do I just do this? And see how that works? How bad is that? It's not terrible, it just looks like dirt. And then I'll be able to put plants on it, so then it really won't look terrible. And then I think I need one more behind. Yeah, I need one more right here. But we need to hold Z and drop it down. Perfect. Okay, so now you can't see any water around that fern, and I now have a fern in the ground. Okay. So hopefully you see a little bit more of my plan, is that I'm really wanting to make a creepy cove in here. I'm wanting there to be a tower here. Eventually, I want to put a jail in here and close off this area. So you will not be able to walk through unless you go through the jail, and then on the other side is going to be another dock. And then over here, I'm going to make another wraparound pier, and we're going to have a tower out front. So that's going to be the plan. Pleasantly surprised that this little idea worked out. I'm just not sure how I could make this look even better. Would like a seawall make this look better, I wonder? Along the edges of it, or should I just leave it natural? I wish there was more of a way to naturally make things look certain ways. You know what I mean? Cocoa plums make really nice plants in this. So does aloe. I have shrubs. I don't think shrubs can go in a flower bed, unfortunately. I think I should be able to put some more shrubs over here. Yeah, look at that. So we can put a shrub there. I don't know if a tree would grow in here, but we can try it. We can really try and make it look just crazy in here. We'll put a palm in here. I have one more shrub I want to put over here. Get it right on the edge of the water. Okay. I'm so excited to see what all of this looks like when it grows in. Let's get some seeds. Let's get some seeds to plant in the beds. Let's see. Do I have any growth? Oh no. It does look like a few things have gotten a little bit bigger. It's gonna look good. It's gonna look good, especially when I get lights up and things. I'm excited. All right, let's get some stuff in the ground, and then I will try and take on that tower again. Dang tower. Okay. So I have leeks that I'm gonna put maybe on either side of the fern. I think I can fit another one there. And then I also brought some pepper saplings, which I think will look nice around the edge of things. Also have 2 flax plants that I think will look nice. I wish I had cocoa plums. I'm gonna need to find some cocoa plums. I've got a nice lime. Ooh, it doesn't want to let me plant this here. Are limes grown on actual ground? It'd actually be kind of cool if they are, because then I could add a lime to my list of trees. Come on. Come on, please. Can I put a lime here? Must be placed on ground. This is ground. Limes anywhere? How about over here? Oh! Lime! Let's see if there's any other funky places I can put this lime. Huh? Perfect. Look at this. It's a little... Come on. Can I put you here? Please? I just want to plant trees. There we go. Okay, that'll give some a nice outline to that section. All right, now, what should I fill in here? What else do I have with me? I have more peppers. Oh yes, I have a sweet potato plant that I think will, oops, look nice. I keep going for little swims here. It must be hot out. Character must be getting hot out here. Never fear, we're planting trees. Trees will help keep things cool. They certainly shall. I love landscaping in games that allow it. And not just in games, but like in life. I'm a big garden fan. What else? I've got more leeks. Let's do more peppers. Why not? We'll see what this mess of plants looks like when it's done. I have 6 more ficus. Okay, so I wanted to have more ficus over by the tower, and I was wondering if I could put them right here, because technically that is ground, right? I think that'll work. This'll work. I think this'll be, we're gonna have one. I'm gonna put a palm tree in the water, because isn't that always cool when like a palm tree comes out of the water? There we go. Add some depth to things. I'm enjoying this so much. This is so fun. Where can we plant a tree? I'm the pirate who plants trees. Forget the girl with the dragon tattoo. I'm the pirate who plants trees. It looks like I can put more of them along the beach here. I'm just gonna go crazy with it. Why not? You gotta make sure you rotate them properly. I think that one will frame my eventual tower really nicely. Yeah. Maybe one more. Oh, not enough resources. Okay, so that was enough of that. So I'm now out of shrubs. I'm out of trees. Unless I have a lime. I do not have a lime. Oh, bananas. I should look for banana seeds, because that would look really nice. Okay. Oh, shoot, I thought I could make that jump. Let's try again. Let's see if we can get up here and... Well, I don't know. Okay, we did it. All right. So, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. It's going to look like such a character... It's just going to have character. It's going to be a cove with character. And then just wait. I don't think I have the materials on me, but when the lighting gets in here, it's going to look really cool. When I put the lighting in at the end, that's going to be what makes it like pop. And I'm excited for that. I have a bonfire. If you look up at my mini map, I have a bonfire just around this corner. The bonfire is what's going to let me put decoration here, like those lights. That's my biggest gripe with the game, is that you can't decorate unless you have a bonfire, and it's a little inconvenient. I see why they do it, but it's a little inconvenient. Okay, so I guess it's either deconstruct and reconstruct the tower, and it's such a shame because I really like, it's like I like how part of it looks, but okay. See how the bottom part of the curved area is made out of like a clay and weave kind of thing? I want it to look like the limestone at the top there. I don't want a tower made out of like mortar and clay and woven material. I'm really wanting to build a stone tower. So I think if I'm going to want to build a tower, I'm going to have to not use the curved building pieces, which is really unfortunate because the towers that I specifically want to build are all, they're all round. But I think I'll be able to make do. So unfortunately, it is now time. It is now time to destroy what I worked on just a little bit ago. But that's how things go. You try things out, you make mistakes, you learn from the mistakes, you learn what you like and you don't like. And I have definitely learned that I do not like how that looks as a tower. So here we go again with this. It's so funny how this is allowing me to make a smoother turn than with the snapping off. I had snapping on and it let me do a little turn like that. All right, snapping on, and I love how that tree is going to grow so close to the pier. Okay. And then the plan is still to have stairs going either up to the left through there or up to the right through here. But unfortunately, it's all going to have to come down. So let's see what happens if I start deleting pieces. I'm just going to go crazy deleting everything. Do structures crumble? Find out today on Wispa Builds Things. I think some of it's crumbling. Also, it's so easy to demolish things. I'm probably going to be picking up resources for days. Let's see what happens if I destroy the whole base of its support. Let's see. Here we go. Ooh! There it went. Inventory's full. Shocker. Wow. Oh, look at that. I made a stack of firewood. That was really cool. Okay, well, that took me about 10 minutes less than I thought it would because of that. And hey, look, we've got a stack of materials ready to go for building Tower Part 2. So how cool is that? I think there was literally one piece left there that I missed. Oh, maybe here too. Oh, that is so funny. That's hilarious. Okay, I love it. You know, it's such a small thing, but the physics and the structure systems like that are part of why I love this game so much. You know, die from a falling tree and whatnot. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that if you come into the walls, we only have this semi-rounded wall, and I want it to be made out of something like this or this. And there's a few viewpoints left I still have yet to explore. There's a chance that I still haven't found more of them yet. But with the pieces that I have available to me, I think it would be way easier to just keep it simple and make an angled building out of the materials that we have available, rather than trying to fit my idea to pieces that won't allow it to happen. So my big choice now is limestone or plaster. I think limestone is going to be my idea. I'm going to go with limestone, and we're going to get to it. So I'm still wanting to keep the tower up here. Let's see, where'd those stairs go? Let's build them around where I want the stairs to be, because that's the idea I have in my mind. So And I don't always start with a foundation or floors, by the way. I probably should, but sometimes I find that it's easier to start with walls. In this case, I'm going to start with a foundation. So, what rotation do I have on here? I have 30-degree rotation. We're going to go to 15 because it gives me way more range, I think. Yeah. So I like, let's move it up a bit if I can. I can't. Oh no. Shoot. Here we go with all this crazy stuff. Okay. That there. But I need it down here more. How I can stack foundations. That's what we'll do. We'll stack foundations if I can. So 1, and then we'll turn snapping on. 2. How's this gonna work? So this is the other issue with foundations, is it's really hard to make any kind of turning kind of things with them. So we're just gonna have to roll with it. We're gonna roll with it and we're gonna see how it goes. I'll start with a square and then we will angle it from that point on. Now I find it interesting that I can't just stack them. But I'm gonna have to try. I also think it's interesting that the angle can slightly change depending on which way your character's looking. Okay. That should snap. There we go. So this is more the height that I want. There. Okay, so it's like level with the rock. This could still be a narrow stair, so that's fine. Now the issue becomes the angle of everything, and this is where I move away from foundations because I can angle things with just walls. I sure can. Okay. So I'm gonna use this corner, or this angle, because this is the angle that I like. Right here. We're gonna do 2 this way. And, what angle? Yeah, here. 1. Straight 2. Is that the same angle? Is it a wide angle or more of a narrow angle? I think it was more of a narrow angle. So like this. And then I believe I had 2 going this way, straight again. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. So filling that in is going to be a little awkward, but it's already way better than how the semi-curved walls were. Yes, so I'm going to make this quite a narrow angle there so that you can still walk back here and get around a stair. I think that'll be a kind of like a creepy stair. And then this, and hopefully, is it the same angle? I think so. How is this not lining up? I must have an angle wrong somewhere. That's okay. We can work with it still. Okay, so it's set back a little bit, which is fine because I can use this right here to build stairs up to it, which works kind of well. The door can be here. But if we want to stay true to the design without the curve, it needs to be up a level. So the door was made 1 level up so that it would be difficult to get to. Or we could just keep it easy for the purpose of access. And we'll just keep it easy for the purpose of access. Why not? Because NPCs can't really decide to go ahead and move stuff out of the way as would be required in a situation like this. So this almost fits perfectly. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of work with like a pillar on that backside there. I guess my next question would be, I don't think a tower like this would have a double door like that. I think it would have the smaller version of this door. Kind of like this? Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. I think that'll work fine for me. It's still that stone material. Okay, now we gotta fill in more limestone wall. And we're gonna use these little pieces to do it. So there's the limestone. Hold on a minute, did I accidentally use the wrong wall? Did I accidentally use the large clay wall at some point? I think I might have. That is just hilarious. I cannot believe I've done that. I think I used the wrong wall. I did the same thing I did the first time. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're gonna do this. And that. Gonna do this. And that. No big deal. And that. It's no big deal. It'll take me 2 seconds to replace all of them. That is so funny. They do look really similar, to be fair. Like in the menu. I just have to make sure I keep the same angles that I used. I cannot believe I did that. I got a little too excited about the plants, I guess, and then just went off script and did the clay walls again. Okay, there, done. Took 1 minute. All right. Let's finish the lining with the correct wall type underneath. There we go. And then I'm gonna need some kind of pillar to fill in. What pillar would... This is pretty close to the stone that I'm using, right? Yeah? Yeah, that's... No one's gonna be able to tell. And I'll probably do that pillar here along the seam as well. Alright, so here's the starting form of this thing. Now, the stairs, I may not have to do too much with them. Let's see how I want the pier to connect to all of this. Also, we can pull down, now that we have this set up, which is really nice, we can just pull all of this stuff down. So, see what I mean by the foundation? The foundation's not really mattering to me as much as like a guide, because I usually just end up using walls anyway. To be determined if that gets me into trouble with... Oh, come on. There we go. With stability, if I accidentally delete something and there's no foundation to stabilize, but I think for now it's fine. And it works. Okay. Very cool. And again, I need to get this pier taken care of so that I can stop hopping like a wild person around here. Hup. Okay. Oh, I almost just went flying off of it again. Alright. So this is already feeling a lot cleaner than that first version I did, which is really nice, because that was just not acceptable. So technically this dock can go just like this, or this pier can just go like this boardwalk, because I'm gonna have stairs along the right Am I liking how it looks, though? Because that's what all this is about, is, you know, are you happy with how it looks? So, I think I can make this look somewhat natural here. Somewhat. Nope, too high. It needs to go lower. Like here. And then here, like really in the rock. Yeah, look at that. That looks so much better than the higher up version. So, I need... What do I need? I think this is now where I use the stone blocks to go in here as like a little bit of a cobble path along the way. Yes, I think this works. This is nice. This is good. This is good. I like this. Okay. Oh, it would be nice if we could get some shrubs right up here. I bet I could get a garden bed here. Oh, I'm gonna get a garden bed here. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be really nice. Greenery makes everything so much better. Just in general. I don't even mind taking care of it. Okay. So, now the next natural point for more steps would be right here. So, let's do that. I love when things look natural. It's great. Okay, now the hard part is going to be getting it low enough. So, oh yes, I love this. I love this, the Z function. It's so nice. I don't think I need the one on the left. I don't know if it's going to let me... There we go. Thought it wasn't going to let me target it for a minute, but there we go. And then another one right here, but again, I need to use the Z to lower it to make a little step up. Nothing huge. There we go. Another natural step up. And there it is. So that's the stairs. That connects to the boardwalk I have here. Let's take a look at it. Nice natural stairs. Oh, this looks so much better than the other thing. It looks so much better already. Like, there's no way I would have been able to do the stairs the same way. It wouldn't have worked. Nope. So now just this there for continuity's sake. So much better. Okay, this is great. What's next? I want to go peek at the greenery. Look at it. Look at it coming in. It's starting to look... Oh, this is starting to look good. It's so silly. I get excited about, like, changes in a game world that players make. It just... it adds a different type of progression, you know? I mean, you're given a blank map, basically, and when you change things on it and you make it the way you want it to be, it's like a... I don't know, a personalized creative type of progression that's very satisfying to me. I love games like that where you can actually change the world. Very cool. Very cool that you can put flower beds on the side of a thing, and I'm still going to do a little bit more work with this. You know what would be really nice? You know what I love more than a good plant? Is a good rock. It would be really nice if we could just place a nice rock along here, or like, you know, make a jetty out of rocks. I guess, hold on. Could this be a rock? No, it's too structural, but like, you know, throw us a few rocks here and there maybe. So like that's a block, but it doesn't really, you can't rotate it in a way that would, you know, like I can't turn it sideways or diagonally in a way that would make it look like a natural rock. But yeah. What was that? Did I just accidentally pick something? What did I do? Or did it just grow up? I think one of my pepper saplings grew up a little. But yeah, let me look through the decorations. I don't think there's anything, you know, on par with a good rock in here, honestly. A good rock just beats everything else. It really does. Nope. Rocks still take the cake. I had spent hours building that day, so I decided to put down my hammer for the time being and return the next morning afresh with a new cup of coffee and some new ideas for my tower. Well, good morning. It is day 2 of this building project. It is morning both in game and in real life, and I am excited to see what the growth looks like out there, what the plants look like. All I've been able to think about is the plants. Look at them. They add so much character to this area. They do give it that creepy, mysterious, piratey vibe. I wish we could plant the swamp trees, let me tell ya. But look at this. I love it. It's turning out kind of exactly how I hoped it would. Look at them. That's a nice little garden there on the side. I love it. So this is going to be exactly as I was hoping. That lime tree looks a little odd over there. I'd rather have like a palm, but so far so good. Pirate Cove, Operation Pirate Cove is a go. Okay, so it is time to tackle the rest of this tower. I also like how this is looking, how it's framed by the ficus trees. I am loving that. It makes sense to me. I have another update. So I finished last night, the Jefferson Key. Okay. I was going to recommend it as like a piratey kind of thing. First half of the book was great. I was really looking forward to seeing how the ending wrapped up, but I don't know what happened. The organization of the writing, it became too meandery, and the author like jumped back and forth between like 10 different characters' point of views in like one chapter, and it became a little much. So I can no longer recommend the Jefferson Key. However, the Columbus affair I can recommend, because as I said, the character development in that and just some of the unique locations and plot was very interesting. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's get back to building. What I would like to do today is get the tower completed, and we'll see where we go from there. That is going to be the goal for this day. Got my coffee. I can't remember the last time I just woke up and started building. Like, this is really nice to get some building done in the morning before I have to do the rest of my chores. The horses are out in the field because it's summer, so I don't have to wake up first thing and go give them hay. I will have to give them their vitamin pellets later. Okay, so what I need to do here, kind of similar to how I attempted to do with the first tower, is build that little awning that comes off the front. I think that looked really nice until it didn't. And then I need to build the arrow slit. Love me a good arrow slit. Love me some plants, some rocks, and a good arrow slit. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to also make sure I don't fall down there, because I'm pretty sure that would be stuck. I'd be stuck for certain. So, how do I want to go about this? So this is already at floor level. I want to look one more time around the front to see what this looks like here. Does it need to go up any higher, or can I just I can put the arrow slit in now. I'm gonna drown also. So we'll go ahead and get the slit going. Wouldn't it be cool to have like a spiral walkway going up this? I might have to think about that. It's not very realistic, but just so many ideas. Okay, I have plenty of stone. I'm good to go. Let's work on this. So the wall I've been using is the limestone wall, and to make the slit, it should actually be pretty easy. I might have to go up another level so that I can have it on like eye level with my character. So it's gonna be, should it be here? This I think would look nice if I had it here. So I might do that. We're gonna turn snapping off and then on again. And it didn't want to cling to this because I have the angle at a different angle. I need to reset my angles as well. So every time you restart the game, it resets your building, the build angles you had. There, now it'll snap. So that's just a little bit of a tip. But yeah, I think an arrow thingy here would be perfect because it's right at the dock, right where like a ship would be coming through, and it misses that tree. So I'm going to do this, and then we will do the arrow, the hole for someone to fire out of right there. Yes, okay. This is good. And then I'm just going to fill this in with regular old wall. Don't need anywhere to shoot from on this side. Over here in this grassy area and some of that sand is where I'm going to have my manor home. And we're going to see how that goes. Oh, can't do that. So, oh, maybe I can. We'll see. And zoop, straight over. Okay. And this is so fun. Great addition to the building system here. Okay. Ooh, did I get the angle on that wrong? Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete that and put that. Okay. And then I'll put the pillars in afterwards. Okay. This is shaping up, quite literally, turning into kind of what I imagined it would be, you know? Which is always nice when something works out as you planned. After building that original tower, I wasn't so sure things were going to work out. I was like, okay, Wispa, we might have to just pass on making a tower. It might be a little too complicated for your building level. All right, let's build a floor for the front of that arrow area. Now, I'm not great with like making the floors line up perfectly. So I'm pretty sure what I'm supposed to do is put like a corner piece here. And it would be great if this works out because I'm quite a messy builder. Is that how that's supposed to be? I hope. My question is, does this pop through the front? And is there... So I think that worked better than that. Did it pop through the front? Let's go see. Let's go down our beautiful stairs. Look at this. These stairs are so cool. And if I can, I'm going to put like a torch on the side or something. Nope. It looks like the floor is good. It is contained within the building. Perfect. Okay. Good. I was worried it would peek through a little bit. All right. So let's go back to that. And now I can... Oh no, I fell down the hole. Shoot. But I got right back up. Okay. I thought that was... I was going to be like stuck in there and not able to get out. So that's really nice that that worked out. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in a few times. Again, I'm a bit messy with this. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Hold on. I don't like that at all. How do I want to do this? Let's try this again with a different piece. Large floor. Now that's snapping at an angle. I might just overlap it and we're gonna just see how this goes. Honestly, that's not bad. 'Cause it's not like I need that whole area to be walkable. I just need part of it to be walkable. Let's put stairs up so I can see what's actually going on here. Is there like a smaller step? Not really. That's fine. Okay. I like the height of this, so that's good. I just want to close off this side. I have a compulsion to want the floor to fit. So the floor will fit. I guess that works. And then I should be able to just rotate these accordingly. I'm wanting it to go flush against the wall, but I don't think that's going to work. I might just have to do this and kind of deal with the consequences of it being off a little bit. Which is okay, because I'm pretty sure only I'm going to notice it. Right? Maybe. I might just have to, I'm going to just have to turn snapping off. And there, look at that. Okay. It's so nice turning snapping off because things almost work perfectly. Alright, so now we can build this wall up one more layer so that I can... I wish there was like an arch, you know, that I could put in, but I don't think that's going to be possible. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it because I'm a bit stubborn. I'm a bit stubborn and I might be able to make an archway work. So we're going to do this and I'm going to let it snap once. And then I need to try and match it on this side, which... Okay, oh, that's a little tall. So let's try that again. We'll turn it slightly this way, bring it up to here. Okay. That's fine. That is fine with me, and we'll bring that down, and then we'll go ahead and even bring that one down for continuity's sake. Okay. Now we have to make the arch part of the top, which I think... a little sad that I don't have something... So, like, when we rotate these, they will only rotate along certain axes. They will not... You cannot, like, free rotate this sideways. So, how am I going to get around this? I wish I had more options to try. How can I get around this? Having an idea. Okay, we're going to use... Here we go. So, this is going to go here. And then we're going to rotate this one this way. Look at how cool this is. Okay, now I have to make sure this lines up in a way that overlaps a little and is somewhat centered. We have a crude arch, but it is not centered. So I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move this one inwards a little bit more. And we'll see if I can make this a bit more centered. How's that? That's pretty close. That is pretty close. Look at that. We did an arch. Made an arch. It's crude. I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but I did it. Okay. Let's finish this. Let's finish this out now. Exciting. It's always nice when these things work out, isn't it? Let me turn snapping back on. And look, it even will allow me to overlap, even though it's a bit of a weird halfway overlap between the stone wall below it and what I'm doing, but it's a clean line. This is where I got in trouble with the last tower, is I just let it do these little overlaps until it completely just, the integrity of the building just looked weird. Okay, is that the correct angle? It is. All right, so this looks like it's actually going to work out cleanly, which I bet is going to look pretty interesting from the side. Or the front, rather. Oops, now I gotta make sure I get this angle correct. I can't tell. It's actually, let me try using V to zoom out. There, look at that, that's better. It's not wanting to quite snap the way I'm wanting it to, so we'll just do this for now and just call it good enough. There. This one was not as difficult, that side, which is interesting. But now I can... So, see, this is where I got in trouble with the last one, is when you do too many layers of things, it starts looking a bit convoluted. But I think I'm just going to leave it. It's okay. Perfection is the enemy of completion. I need some coffee. I'm so proud of my little arrow slit. All right. Now, let's see what she's looking like from the front. It's acceptable. I would like to make sure those pillars meet in a little bit of a better way. So we're going to do that. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. I think I can just turn snapping off and try and make this one even with that one. I just wish I could get it in there. Now I need to, oh, nope. Nope, you gotta stay in the pillar, please. Okay. How's that? Alright, and then because I pulled that one like out, I'm gonna have to just do a stack of them up just to make it look, you know, acceptable. And then we need to do the same thing over here. Again, trying not to do too much layering because that does make things look a little odd sometimes. And then I'm gonna go back with these the walls that I did, and should I just leave it? No, I'm gonna go back and try and pop these out as well, and we'll see what that looks like. I may not like it. I may end up undoing it. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'll come back to that. That's progress, though. That's progress. So I can fine-tune that. I can come back to that, and I can re-center it so that it looks better. Okay. Next part is going to just be continuing to build it up. I got to look at the garden again. Nice. Very nice. All kinds of different flowers and cool things. Just had to make sure it's still there. I'm going to make a scaffold up. Very basic scaffold, just pillars. I mean, plant fiber scaffold. So that I can keep building upwards. So we're going to do one more vertical layer, and then I'm going to put... hold on, I need to get my reference tower up. Let's get this wall set, and then we'll come back and work on the middle part. So yeah, as I was saying, the more you layer and change the way that things snap together, kind of the messier it gets, and it gets harder then to like fill in the blanks, I guess you could call it, like I'm doing now. That looks not bad, and then you get rid of that, and there, so you can barely tell, and it's actually even kind of rounded looking, which is interesting to me. But yeah, you can't really tell that it was cobbled together too much. So let's go back and do this. I love also how you can build at such a distance away from you. Really convenient, although I can't really quite see the angle at which I'm building. So let me see if I can actually hop up on the wall. This is a bit of a risky business here. OSHA would not be happy with me. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah, so see, we're gonna run into a little bit of a height mismatch, actually. That's gonna have to do that. Okay, so we've got that extra layer. I'm gonna have to go grab some more stone, which actually I already had. So we'll just open these boxes. I love that we can just buy the materials from the vendors. Sometimes I just don't want to go farm for them. So that's really nice. Oops. See if I can just get that in there without making it look too awkward. Okay. Cool. Now we gotta run back around the front and finish that little design piece that I want on there. Okay. Getting there. Now, this section is going to be a large wall section. Let me zoom my building out and get this large wall section. So it's going to be like this. I'm hoping the snapping will behave. Look at that. That behaved. All right, I guess. And hopefully these will too. I need you to go where you don't want to go. There we go. I assume that didn't work. Okay. There. Okay. Now we can start working. Oh, it's off center. Oh. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to make it look centered. This is the fun thing about perspective, is making things look different than they do. So I'm going to try and center it over these two pillars because they are the things. They are the things. So that's just it. They are the things. I don't know what else to say. The pillars are quite literally the pillars of the tower. They are holding the design of the tower together, and they will be the center point of this little, what I'm doing now. You'll see what it is. It's like an additional, it's an additional hanging over in the tower. I'm just not exactly sure. I'm gonna need the smaller pieces. So yeah, it is like that. Perfect. Wow. Okay, that worked. Now, in real life, this little hangover would go like on a curved structure. So these eaves that I'm hanging off, I guess, would be tailored to fit that curve. And this is what has made this build so difficult for me in the first place, is that curved building pieces don't seem to have much variety to them right now. Anyway, gotta keep going upwards here so that I can actually see what I'm building. Okay. Now we can do, hopefully, the sides of my little, it's not a parapet. I don't even know what it's called. I need to, I think, perhaps learn some architecture phrasing. There. Okay. So now I should be able to turn snapping on and just follow them up. And follow them up? Was that? That did something funky with the snap there. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I got to get on the other side. And I'm gonna have to build the scaffolding is gonna be quite messy. Okay. Yeah. Quite messy. Oops, that was the wrong wall. I am very prone to using the wrong wall. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Now, so it's got the little front, it's got the, okay, so then the next thing is one roof piece. I really hope this'll be enough of a roof piece. Right pediment. So I'm wondering if the pediments will work rather than the full bit of the roof. So let's see. So there's a pediment. Ooh. And there's a pediment. Yeah, so I definitely think that's just going to be it. And then I'm going to put, where is it? Hopefully I have wall pieces that will match up with this. It's these smaller triangular walls that we will rotate fully around, and I'm going to have to unsnap them, I think. I don't know if it's going to let me build these the way I want to. So this might be another one of those perfection is the enemy of completion kind of thing. And that might just have to be it, I think. I'm sure if I get some more time... Oh, like, see, that one snapped really nicely. So now I have to go naturally and try that with the other one again. There I go, falling. Okay, so I don't know how that other one snapped so well, but perhaps there's a way. So I'm going to just put that one in there and maybe, yeah, look, it did it. Ish. Okay. I might want to go even that out on the other side and put another one right next to it. There. Okay, cool. I'm all right with that. So I guess the last thing to do would just be to drop that wall down and then fill in the rest of the tower, and then it's pretty much complete. Now, we don't really have a way of doing stone roofing, which is a bit, you know, you can't really use foundations. I mean, you could to make like a stone roof, but I think that might look a bit odd. I'm probably going to try it anyway. But yeah, there's that. Now I'm wondering if I should put like a window in this also. Like there. Can I make it? I might be able... Oh, I have an idea. If I take a pillar and I narrow this in a bit, I can make it another... Ooh, did that go where I wanted it to go? Kind of. I was going to say, I can make it into another arrow slit, but then on the inside, that's going to be particularly tricky to make look good. But I'm going to pull these down, and we're going to see what that looks like. I think that finishes it up pretty nicely, and then I can even try and add more of this pediment over the top? No. Let's try a bigger roofing piece and see if it'll just, you know, here. That's not bad. That's not bad. And then I wonder... I'm gonna have to sit with this for a minute and see what looks better. It might look just fine with this. It might be hanging too far over the edge here, but I think I can like no snap it in so that it doesn't look as bad. Okay, cool. I'm gonna see what this looks like from a distance. Just kidding. I'm gonna see what this looks like from a distance. I'm gonna go sleep until morning because I do not want to be building in dark. So if I can no snap that that right piece in, I think it'll look good. And then I'm gonna try and do the same thing I did with the other one. Let me do that real fast before it's dark, and then we're gonna sleep and move on to the next day of building. Because once I get this part figured out, it should be really fast, like really fast to finish this. Come on. You know you want to snap perfectly right there. That was not perfect. It was too far forward. All right, how about there? That'll do. That doesn't look bad. So because this is the one on the right, I think it has like a little overhang. So if I were to go back and put the proper one, so this one over on the left, I think it would give it a nice rounded. So we got to delete that and then come back and put this one on. Yeah, look. It gives it that little rounded edge rather than it being a connecting piece. So I like that. Okay, last thing before I let my character sleep is to put that piece on I was using to make the arch with so that I can make another arch. So we're going to do that there and this here. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. That looks so cool. Okay, very nice. Very nice. So I think, yeah, look at that. Oh, I love when things work out. Great. All right. So then tomorrow in the game is going to be filling in that top and making it look complete. Of course, I've had to deviate from my real world example because it was a rounded Martello Tower. So we're just going to kind of have to see what exactly I need to do to make it work. Oh no, I'm going to drown because I dredged too far around the shore. Okay. All right, so we will sleep and then we will start anew in the morning. Okay, the sun has risen. I love this room so much. I just need to finish the rest of the tavern. I've been putting it off because I'm not a fan of roofing. And I have a feeling it might be difficult to make roofs work in Windrose, but I'm getting some good practice in now, so maybe it won't be so bad. This tower has been really good practice in general. Yeah, so see, like, I did not finish my storehouse roof because it just seemed like a big mess and I feel like I was missing pieces. So I'm definitely going to have to go and make sure that I have all of the pieces first of all before I go crazy building more roofing. Okay, let's close this thing in and be done with it. Really excited to see how this will turn out when it's completely finished and lit up the way that I would like it to be. All right, shouldn't take me but a minute to do this. I quickly built up the rest of the walls and added a makeshift floor or ceiling to the tower and then took a look at my handiwork from a distance. I'm wondering what else I could do to like make it look a little more finished, put some lining on it perhaps to make it look just that bit more complete. I'm gonna have to think about it. Again, I'm just gonna have to let it sit. So I've already got pillars here, so I am just going to go ahead and take them all the way down because they will cover that awkward seam here, you know? And then we're gonna have quite a bit of pillaraging going on as I put them here as well to go up the whole height of this. Let's see how far up it'll let me build them. One more. There. Yeah, that gives it a bit more shape. I need one more. Perfect. Okay. So that definitely fills in that awkward edge. Now, I don't know if I need to take it up. I don't think I will, because that'll mess with the... See, I'm wanting to smooth out the way the wall looks a bit. Will this do anything nice? That doesn't look bad, because then it looks like that wood part is resting on that. I'm going to get rid of that wood piece in there because it sticks through. Okay, so this is all just little detailing things. I do feel like I'm going to need to do a second layered pillar over here. Whoops, come on. Snap where I want you to snap. I know it'll go in there. I just need to convince it. It's wanting to snap everywhere but where I want it, so I'm gonna have to try a different angle. My trick when things don't want to snap the right way is to literally look at it from a different angle, and a lot of the times it just makes the game say, okay. Although this time it's being really stubborn. So what I'm going to have to do is delete that pillar so that this one will then snap. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're going to try and put that back where it was. Okay, so that was my workaround for that. Sometimes you got to delete the piece that is confusing the engine about where it should put a pillar or not. So I'm going to go ahead and delete carefully my scaffolding. Oops. Was almost making a treehouse there with the scaffolding going up the ficus. Okay. It's missing something at the top. I'm not quite sure what. In all of my examples of actual Martello Towers, there's like a bit of it goes in a bit. So, still thinking. Might change it up. Might change it up at some point. But for today, I feel like it looks nice. Now I'm gonna have to figure out other little ways to detail it. So that'll be on my mind. Okay, the next part of completely transforming my cove area is making a seawall around here so that it's not just open sand, but rather more of a like fort Spanish kind of vibe. So we're going to do that. And then I think by the time I'm done with that, I'm going to throw some lighting up. I might have one or two more ideas about the tower. And then I am going to call this area transformed. I'm really loving how it's looking. I really like my little arches in the tower. It's simple, but I think effective. All right, so my seawall, so to speak, is going to go right here. So I got to work on its outline. I used the plaster walls as well as the archways and pillars and basic stone foundations to outline the shoreline around the rest of my pirate village. I felt like it made the area feel like more of an official place where you would dock or come in from a long journey at sea rather than just the open beach that was there before. I think it helped add to the ambiance of what I was trying to do pretty well. So landscaping complete, dock complete. I've gotten a lot done today, I think. I've made a lot of progress today. I think probably the next video is going to be cleaning everything up and making sure things just start looking a little bit better. I'm going to put a roof on that seawall area, perhaps. Yeah, I don't think it looks too bad. I'm happy with it. And again, I want to put another tower out there, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to show you guys the progress I made. But yeah, this is kind of how I do my building. I find inspirations out in the wild. I find inspiration out in the wild, or by reading a book, or by places I've visited. So probably the next time you see the base, I will have fleshed out some more of the landscaping, and I will have completed the touch-ups on my little dock area here, my wharf, I guess, my quay. And then probably the next big building video will be building a manor house or something like that. I don't know when that'll be, but before we do that, I'll have to show you the progress I've made and how everything comes together. Yeah, my eye wants the wall to be like 1 or 2 higher, so that's definitely what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna work on that, as I said, work on some finishing touches on the tower. But overall, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Thank you so much for joining me and checking out what it's like to build in Windrose. I think there are a lot of options we have, like how you can kind of fudge the landscaping a little bit to make it look like there's more there than just bare shoreline. I think that's really cool. I think something else I might want to try is bringing the sand up rather than putting those flower beds over there. So if I bring the sand up, that means that I can plant a bunch of trees and shrubs along the edge there. So the Windrose journey does continue. I'm going to keep exploring the building system and seeing what I can come up with that I can show you guys. That is it for me today. I have an Enshrouded playthrough going right now. If you are interested in some more story-based gameplay, I also have Subnautica and Grounded, and of course Windrose that I have completed that you could check out. I've really enjoyed building today, and as always, I hope you are enjoying whatever game you are playing, particularly if you're still messing around in Windrose. That is it for me. As I just said, I hope you are enjoying your games, and I will see you all in the next video.